What if I told you that 80% of life was just showing up and the rest of the 20%, yeah, well, that's what you do after you show up. Did you know that 80% of planes' fuel is spent just getting to cruising altitude? Did you know that 80% of the gas used in your car is for accelerating? So now that you know the metrics on what it takes to show up, what do you do when you show up, right? What do you do when you just show up at the brand new job site? You have no idea what's going on. What would you do? Would you ask somebody? Would you just pick up a broom and start sweeping? Because the right answer is just get busy. See, when you get busy, you will figure out the next thing to do. Anybody that goes to a gym will tell you that all you got to do is pick up the barbell, right? Once you pick up the barbell, you lift it this way and then you lift it this way. And soon, next thing you know, 3 years later, you're Mr. Olympia. Yeah, that's how easy it is, man. People think that success is really hard. It's not. The only thing that's hard is your mindset to change from who you are to who you want to be. Because once you figure out that you want to change, the universe will conspire. But the universe is waiting for you to show up. You get it? See, once you show up and you start curling that dumbbell, you start to work the muscle group. Once you work that muscle group, you work on the next muscle group. It's kind of the way we walk. We put one foot in front of the other. And then once we do that over a period of time, you don't need to learn, you don't need to watch where you're going, because you know that your foot and the muscles of your body will accommodate all the changes that are going to come up in front of you. The reason I tell you this is because I want you to realize that motivation only takes you so far. And the thing that you need most is discipline. Because once you have discipline, you get to do amazing things. Believe me when I tell you this. As a content creator, all I do is shoot video. And some of the times, 99% of the time, I don't edit any of my stuff. And people say, why do you? And I don't care. Because the message isn't in the edit. The message is in the doing. And when you keep doing things, you become fluid. And once you become fluid, well, that's when the magic happens. That's when you get paid. That's when you become an expert. That's when you become an authority. Because once you reach that level, it doesn't take long. See, it doesn't take long to get to where you want to go if you're disciplined on getting there. I hope that you enjoy my videos because I really like making them. I've got a really young audience between the ages of 22 and 47. And I really like speaking to you guys. I have my morning programs where we discuss complex issues that face mostly men. But there's women who enjoy my programming also. But I mostly speak to the men. And the reason that I do is I want you to realize, well, how important it is to become a problem solver. I want you to not go to school to learn one specific thing. I want you to learn what it's like to problem solve.
And the only way that you learn how to problem solve is by showing up. Believe me when I tell you this, showing up is an amazing thing. If you are the kind of, there's 100% of people in the world, yeah? Out of 100 people, 20 of them actually make it. And out of that 20 people, 3 of them, 3% of the population actually thrive. And the reason that those 3 people thrive is because they showed up every day. Even when they didn't want to show up, they showed up. Because that moment in which you're thinking about showing up or doing a job or fulfilling an agreement or fulfilling an engagement, and you're thinking about all the excuses that you want to make in order for the other person to believe that bullshit story that you have in your head, well, the time that it takes to make that excuse, you could have shown up and started doing the work. And that's the difference between the 3% men and the 100% of the men who joined the race. You see, in the Boston Marathon, New York Marathon, tens of thousands of people show up for those marathons. And only a few cross the line. And only 3 of them reach the podium. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to be the person who crosses the line or the person who starts the race? There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, but one of them is that person that finishes the race, they thrive. They thrive in everything that they do. You can't be a good marathon runner and be a bad dad. You can't be a good marathon runner and be late on your bills. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a medley. And success is not measured in one thing, 2 things. It's measured on a succession of things, 3 things, 5 things, 10 things. When they say, man, that's a successful man, they're not talking about one trait. They're talking about his success in his business, his success with his relationship, his success with his children, his success with his finances. Then you can say that this human being is successful. You're not measured on one thing. And I don't want you to compare yourself to people who started before you. Because men, that's what they do. They say, oh, but that guy has the big house. But that guy started 10 years before you did. There's no get-rich scheme that works. There's no shortcut to life. The shortcuts that you take are going to set you back. And they're going to set you back real nice. And you're not going to be able to reach your greatness. Stepping into that greatness is a decision. You see, you're one decision away from a completely different life. Believe me when I tell you this. One decision. And when you take that moment and you decide, those who maintain course, right? Those are the guys who succeed. You can't keep changing lanes in life. You ever see those guys on the highway and they're just changing lanes and they're not getting any further ahead? They're just endangering themselves, endangering other people under high stress, use of gas and brakes. For what? To get 2-3 cars ahead of you? Madness. That's what it is. It's madness. And when you realize that life doesn't reward madness, it doesn't. When you pull the trigger of a weapon, you end up in jail. And that's because you gave in to the madness. But that other person who plants trees, such as I have behind me, plants those trees knowing full well that he'll never sit underneath its shade. That's discipline. And what I encourage you to do is continue watching my programs, continue subscribing, and continue to ask questions, because successful people love it when they fail. Yeah. Only successful people actually love when they fail, because when they fail, they realize that they're learning. Not very many times in life that you get to learn something brand new, man. Brand new. And when you get to learn brand new, every time you become a better human being, you become a stronger human being, you become a man. We don't have enough men in this world. I encourage you to become one. There you have it.